It was supposed to be a night of celebration, cameras flashing, fans cheering, and hip-hop royalty in full glam. But behind the glitz and red carpet smiles, something dark was brewing. Sources say Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin's world came crashing down backstage when someone they trusted most turned their love story into a public scandal. The mood shifted fast. One minute, Chrissy was laughing with the crew, her energy magnetic as ever. The next, whispers spread through the corridor like wildfire. "Did you hear what they said about Jim?" Someone muttered. Phones started recording. Tension flooded the air. And before anyone could stop it, a close friend, someone both Jim and Chrissy had let into their inner circle, stepped forward and dropped a bomb that left the entire room in shock. Whatever was said that night didn't just expose a secret, it broke trust that had been built for years. Cameras caught glimpses of Chrissy's trembling hands, Jim's jaw tightening, and security rushing to clear the scene. It wasn't just another argument. It was betrayal, raw and televised. Fans have been speculating ever since. What really went down backstage? Who was behind the leak? And is this the final straw for one of hip-hop's most talked about couples? Because if the rumors are true, Jim and Chrissy's loyalty was tested in a way no one saw coming. And the fallout is about to shake everything. Backstage at the event was supposed to be a calm, celebratory scene, the kind where everyone toasted to success and took pictures for social media. Jim Jones had just finished an energetic performance, the crowd still buzzing with excitement, and Chrissy Lampkin, stunning in a fitted black gown, waiting with her signature smile. But the energy shifted the second they stepped behind the curtain. Something didn't feel right at first. It was the whispers, low, scattered, and just loud enough to catch Chrissy's attention. She noticed people avoiding eye contact, phones quickly tucked away, and one of their closest friends, a woman named Tamika, looking uneasy. Chrissy tilted her head, her instincts kicking in immediately. "What's going on?" she asked, but no one answered. Jim was dapping up a few crew members, still high off the crowd's energy, when a producer quietly pulled him aside. "Hey man, I think you should check your phone. Something's happening online right now." Jim frowned, confused. But the second he unlocked his screen, his whole expression changed. His face went from pride to pure disbelief. Chrissy saw it too, that flash of anger in his eyes. "What happened?" she asked, walking over. Jim didn't answer at first. He just handed her the phone. On the screen was a post, a blurry backstage video uploaded by an anonymous account. It showed part of a heated conversation between Jim and a woman who wasn't Chrissy. The caption read, "So this is what really goes down behind the scenes." Gasps filled the air. The video didn't show much, but it was enough to spark rumors. The timing, the body language, it all looked bad. Chrissy froze, her heart racing. She recognized that location. It was from a private rehearsal night, one where only a few people were invited, Tamika included. She turned toward her friend slowly, her voice cold but trembling. "You were there that night. How did this get out?" Tamika stuttered, trying to avoid her gaze. "Chrissy, I swear I didn't post it. I don't know who did, then who else had that clip?" Jim cut in sharply, his tone heavy with anger. "Because somebody's playing with my life right now." Producers tried to intervene, but it was too late. The emotions were raw and spilling everywhere. Chrissy's face hardened as realization sank in. Tamika had been around for years, part of their trusted circle. She'd seen them fight, reconcile, and build back up. She knew everything. And now this leak had her fingerprints all over it. Whether she meant it or not, security quickly escorted unnecessary crew out, leaving only the core group. Jim was pacing, his chains clinking as he muttered under his breath. "Every time I start to make moves, somebody want to bring me down. I'm tired of this." Chrissy stepped closer, trying to steady herself. "Babe, we can handle this. We've been through worse." But even as she said it, her eyes were glossy. The betrayal hit deep, not just from whoever leaked the video, or from the fact that it was someone close enough to know what would hurt them most. Tamia finally broke down. "I didn't mean for it to get this far," she said, voice cracking. I sent it to someone I trusted just to show what was going on that night. I didn't think they'd post it." Jim spun around. "You sent it. You sent a video of me. You thought that was cool?" The room fell silent. The only sound was the thumping of bass from the after party in the next room. Chrissy folded her arms, trying to keep her composure. "You betrayed both of us, Tamika. Do you even understand what you've done?" Tamika nodded, tears rolling down her face. "I thought you deserved to know the truth about that woman, Jim. She's not who you think she is." That line made everyone freeze. Jim's expression turned cold. "What are you talking about?" Tamika hesitated, glancing at Chrissy. "You've been too loyal to people who don't respect your relationship. That woman in the video, she's been spreading stories about you and saying you're not faithful. I thought if I showed you, you'd see who's been playing you." Chrissy's voice dropped, calm but sharp. "So you tried to help us by leaking a private video to the internet. That's not helping. That's sabotage." Jim's patience finally snapped. "You could have come to me. You could have talked to me like a grown woman, but instead you threw fuel on the fire." By now, producers were whispering frantically into headsets, trying to decide whether to keep filming. This wasn't supposed to be part of the night's storyline. This was real. Raw damage control in real time. Tamika tried one last time to defend herself. "Y'all don't see what's really happening. People around you've been plotting on you for months. I'm not your enemy, I'm just the only one being honest." But neither Jim nor Chrissy wanted to hear it. The bond that once existed between them and Tamika was gone. Burned to ash in a matter of minutes. Jim turned away, running a hand over his face. "I don't even know who to trust anymore. Every time we let people close, they stab us in the back." Chrissy reached for his hand, but he pulled away, lost in thought. The betrayal had reopened every old wound, the years of public scrutiny, breakups, reconciliations, and constant judgment from the outside world. This time felt different. It wasn't the media coming for them. It was someone from inside their circle. As Jim stormed out, cameras caught the look on Chrissy's face. Heartbreak mixed with fury. She turned to the producers, her voice steady but icy. "If you air any of this, I swear I'm done. This isn't a storyline, this is our real life." Moments later, she followed Jim down the hallway, the sound of her heels echoing through the corridor. Outside, the night air was thick, the city lights of Atlanta twinkling in the distance. She found Jim standing near the parking lot, staring at his phone as more notifications rolled in. Gossip blogs, fan reactions, and speculation everywhere. "Babe," she said softly, "don't let this break us. That's what they want." Jim looked up, pain in his eyes. "It's not them I'm worried about. It's the fact that I keep letting the wrong people in." Chrissy nodded slowly, her voice breaking. "Then maybe it's time we stop letting people in at all." As they walked toward the car, the cameras zoomed out, capturing two people who'd survived fame, love, and scandal, but were now facing something far worse: betrayal from within. And the world was about to see every second of it. The next morning, social media was on fire. Every blog, gossip page, and fan account was posting about the leaked Backstage video. Headlines flooded timelines. Jim Jones caught in Backstage scandal. Chrissy Lampkin's reaction says it all. Insider leaks what really happened after the cameras stopped rolling. By 10 a.m., Jim's phone was buzzing nonstop. Calls from PR, messages from friends, and even a few from people he hadn't spoken to in years. Everyone wanted the same thing, a statement. But Jim wasn't ready to talk. He was sitting in silence, staring out the window of his SUV as it cruised through Atlanta, trying to piece together how someone he trusted could turn his private life into a headline. Chrissy, meanwhile, was in her apartment, scrolling through the chaos. She saw fans arguing in the comments, some defending her, others speculating about the woman in the video. The betrayal hit her harder the more she watched. Not because she didn't trust Jim, but because it reminded her how easily their story could be twisted. After years together, after all the ups and downs, here they were again, fighting for their image and their peace. Just then, her phone rang. It was Yandy, the last person Chrissy wanted to hear from. They hadn't spoken in months, not since their fallout at a previous event. But curiosity won. "Hey girl," Yandy said carefully. "I just wanted to check in. I saw what's going on online. Are you okay?" Are you okay?" Chrissy took a deep breath. "I'm fine. I've been through worse. But this one hurts different." "I get it," Yandy replied. "But listen, people are saying it was someone from your inner circle that leaked that footage. You know who it was?" Chrissy hesitated. "Yeah, I know." Yandy sighed. "Then be careful. Once loyalty breaks, there's no fixing it." The call ended, but Yandy's words lingered in her head. Loyalty. That was the one thing Chrissy always demanded and rarely received. Across town, Jim was at the studio with his longtime friend and manager, trying to control the damage. "Bro, this ain't good," his manager said, scrolling through his phone. "Every site's got your name up. Even the Shade Room reposted it twice. You gotta say something." Jim shook his head. "I ain't explaining nothing to nobody. They want a show. Let M talk. I know what really went down." "Yeah, but silence looks like guilt." His manager pressed. Jim slammed his hand on the table. "You think I care about guilt? I'm tired of defending myself. Every time I start moving right, people around me drag me back into mess." At that moment, the studio door opened. To everyone's shock, Tamika walked in. Her eyes were red from crying, but her voice was steady. "Jim, I need to talk to you." His manager tried to step in, but Jim waved him off. "Nah, let her talk. She wanted to play journalist, right? Let's hear what she gotta say." Tamika swallowed hard. "I know you're mad at me. I know I messed up. But I didn't post that video to hurt you. I was trying to expose the person who's been spreading lies about you, the same woman from the clip." Jim leaned back, crossing his arms. "You don't get to justify it. You recorded me without my knowledge and gave it to somebody. You knew what could happen." "I didn't record it," Tamika said quickly. "Somebody else did. One of the camera crew members. They sent it to me because they thought I'd know what to do with it." Jim raised an eyebrow. "And you thought the right move was sending it out to another person? You could have come to me." Tamika's voice cracked. "I was scared. That woman in the video, she's been meeting with producers, saying you and Chrissy aren't really together, that your relationship's for publicity. She said you were seeing her on the side. I was trying to protect you before it got out worse." Jim shook his head slowly. "You don't protect people by exposing M." There was a long silence. Then Tamika whispered, "You don't understand. She's been plotting this. She's got more videos, more messages. She was planning to leak everything during the reunion taping." That caught Jim's attention. His expression hardened. "Who?" Tamika hesitated. "A woman named Deja. She was working on the styling team. She had a thing for you, Jim, and when you didn't give her attention, she flipped." Jim cursed under his breath. He vaguely remembered her, a stylist's assistant who'd always been a little too friendly, always asking personal questions. Now it all made sense. "Where is she now?" Jim asked. Tamika shook her head. "I don't know, but I heard she's been talking to a blogger, someone who's ready to drop a full expose on you and Chrissy." Jim grabbed his phone and started dialing immediately. "I'm not letting nobody play with my family like that." Meanwhile, Chrissy was on her way to meet Jim at the studio, unaware of the conversation taking place. She had been quiet all morning, but now her fury was starting to build. By the time she arrived, she was done being calm. When she walked in, the tension was thick. "So this is where y'all been hiding," she said, crossing her arms. Jim looked up, his tone softening slightly. "Chrissy, listen." She cut him off. "No, you listen. I'm tired of being the one who stands beside you through every rumor, every scandal, every woman who thinks she can get famous by using your name. I'm tired of being humiliated because people around you don't respect boundaries." Jim tried to reach for her, but she stepped back. "Do you know what it's like waking up and seeing people call you a fool online? Saying your man's out here wildin' again? I can't keep doing this, Jim." Tamika tried to speak. "Chrissy, please. You have to understand," Chrissy snapped. "You don't speak to me." You caused this mess." The argument grew louder. Jim stood between them, trying to defuse it, but the damage was already done. Cameras outside the studio caught the shouting, and within minutes, paparazzi were camped at the entrance. Inside, Chrissy's anger broke into tears. "I've fought for us, Jim, but you can't keep letting everyone into our world. That's why they keep betraying us, because you give them access to what's sacred." Jim rubbed his temples. "You're right," he said quietly, "but we gotta stay together through it. That's how they win if we fall apart." Chrissy looked at him, her expression softening slightly. She wanted to believe him. She wanted to believe they were stronger than this. But deep down, she knew this betrayal had changed everything. Tamika stepped closer. "If you'll let me make it right, I'll help you find Deja before she releases anything else." Jim hesitated. "You caused this mess. Now you want to fix it?" Tamika nodded. "Yeah, because if she leaks what she's got, it's not just your name on the line, it's all of ours." Jim exchanged a glance with Chrissy, who gave a slow, reluctant nod. "Fine," Jim said. "You find her. But if you cross me again, you're done." Tamika left immediately, phone in hand, calling every contact she had. The race was on to find Deja before the next bomb dropped, as the sun set that evening. Jim and Chrissy sat in silence in the studio. The music equipment around them buzzed faintly, but neither spoke. Finally, Jim broke the silence. "You still with me?" Chrissy exhaled. "I don't know, but I'm here tonight. Let's see what tomorrow brings." Little did they know, tomorrow would bring chaos they never imagined, because Deja was already one step ahead. And the footage she held wasn't just another rumor. It was the kind of evidence that could destroy everything Jim and Chrissy had built personally and publicly. The next morning, the storm truly hit. Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin woke up to chaos, their phones buzzing nonstop, notifications flooding in from blogs, fan pages, and even verified celebrities commenting on what had just dropped. The headline was everywhere: "Exclusive Deja leaks full backstage footage, Jim Jones exposed." The leaked clip was longer this time, over 3 minutes, showing Jim in what appeared to be a private conversation with Deja in a backstage hallway. Though nothing inappropriate happened, the angle, tone, and editing made it look intimate. Deja had clearly known what she was doing. She added voiceovers, captions, and strategic pauses to make it seem like something more. Chrissy sat on the couch, phone in hand, staring at the screen in disbelief. Her face was blank, but her silence said everything. Jim stood nearby, pacing, every muscle in his body tense. "This is crazy," he muttered. "She's twisting everything." Chrissy finally looked up, her voice cold. "You gave her that space, Jim. You gave her the opportunity." Jim stopped pacing and turned to her. "You really think I was messing with that girl?" Chrissy shook her head slowly. "I don't think you cheated, but I do think you keep letting women get too close. And now, look where we are." Jim exhaled deeply, running a hand over his face. "I told you, she was just on the styling team. She was around because production brought her in. I didn't know she was plotting." "Plotting?" Chrissy scoffed. "Jim, this isn't a plot. This is humiliation. She planned this, and you gave her the camera time to pull it off." Jim grabbed his phone. "I'm not about to let her win. She'll want attention. She's gonna get it, but not the way she wants." He started calling his lawyer and PR team, demanding the video be taken down. But by then, it was too late. The footage had already been downloaded, re-uploaded, and shared across dozens of platforms. By noon, hashtag Jim and Chrissy was trending again, with fans divided. Some defended Jim, saying the video was edited to look worse than it was. Others blamed Chrissy, accusing her of being too controlling. And a third group praised Deja for exposing the truth. The narrative was spinning out of control. Hours later, Tamika called. "I found her," she said. "She's staying at a hotel downtown. But there's more. She's planning to go live tonight." Jim froze. "She's gonna go live?" "Yeah," Tamika said. "She told one of my Chrissy folded her arms. "You show up there, and she wins. You lose your cool on camera and she paints you as the villain. That's what she wants. Jim's voice cracked with frustration. So what we supposed to do? Let her drag my name through the dirt. Chrissy shook her head. No, we take control. We tell our side before she does. She grabbed her phone and began dialing her publicist. Within an hour, Chrissy had arranged for both of them to sit down for an exclusive interview, not a PR spin, but a raw, unfiltered conversation. You want to fix this? Then face it with me, she said, together. Jim nodded reluctantly. He hated doing interviews, but this was different. This was survival. As they got ready, Tamika sent one last text. She's going live in 30 minutes. The clock was ticking. When Deja's live stream began, thousands of viewers tuned in instantly. She appeared calm, even smug, sitting in a hotel suite with her makeup perfectly done and her phone camera set at just the right angle. I didn't want to do this, she began, her tone fake sincere. But I can't stay silent while people lie about me. She started playing voice recordings, chopped, edited, and out of context of what sounded like Jim's voice talking about issues with Chrissy. The comments section went wild. Screenshots flew across Twitter and Instagram within minutes. But before she could go further, the unexpected happened. The live cut out, the connection dropped. And minutes later, every one of her social media accounts disappeared. Fans flooded the comments asking what happened. Some assumed she'd been hacked. Others thought she got scared. Back at Jim and Chrissy's place, Jim put down his phone with a smirk. Guess she won't be going live again. Chrissy frowned. What did you do? Jim shrugged. Let's just say my team handled it. I told you, I'm not letting anybody play with my family. But even as he said it, Chrissy wasn't satisfied. Jim, this isn't about silencing her. It's about rebuilding trust. Because even if she's gone, the internet doesn't forget. People will always believe what they want. Later that evening, Jim and Chrissy sat down for their interview. The room was dimly lit, the mood somber. The interviewer wasted no time. Jim, Chrissy, people have seen the video. They've heard the rumors. What really happened backstage? Chrissy spoke first. What happened was betrayal, not from strangers, but from people close to us. Someone we trusted took something private and tried to weaponize it. That's not just gossip, that's evil. Jim nodded. I ain't gonna lie, it hurt. Not because of the video, but because it showed me how quick people are to turn. Folks act like they love you until they see a chance to use your name. The interviewer asked, do you feel betrayed by the industry? Jim leaned forward. I feel betrayed by loyalty that ain't real. People smile in your face, take pictures, act like family, but they'll sell you out for a few clicks. But I'll tell you this, I'm done letting people into my circle. From now on, it's just me and her. Chrissy looked at him, eyes glistening. We've been through everything, love, hate, fame, heartbreak. But this reminded me that trust isn't about who's around you. It's about who stands with you when everything falls apart. The interview ended with quiet applause from the small crew. For the first time in days, Chrissy and Jim felt a sense of relief. But as they left the studio, Tamika texted one last warning. You might have shut Deja down. But she's not alone. Someone else helped her and they still got more footage. Chrissy read the message, her stomach sinking. You think this is over? She whispered. Jim's expression hardened. No, this is just the beginning. It's outside. The paparazzi flashes lit up the night sky as the couple walked hand in hand, defiant against the chaos. They didn't speak, but both knew the truth. Betrayal doesn't end when the cameras stop rolling. It lingers, waiting for the next opportunity to strike. And for Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin, that next hit was already loading another leak, another lie, another test of whether love could truly survive when loyalty no longer existed. When the lights fade and the audience goes home, what's left behind are the pieces broken. Trust, bruised egos, and whispers that never stop echoing. For Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin, this wasn't just another love and hip-hop moment. It was a turning point. The kind of betrayal that forces you to question everyone you thought was family. Their story has always been built on loyalty, on fighting against the odds, on proving that love could survive the chaos of fame. But this time, the hurt runs deep. When your own friend exposes your secrets on camera, when private pain becomes a trending topic, there's no easy way to come back. And yet, knowing Jim and Chrissy, they won't stay down for long. They've been through public heartbreak before, and somehow they always find a way to rise again. Still, fans can't help but wonder, who can they trust now? The cameras may stop rolling, but the drama behind those walls keeps burning. And with insiders hinting that more unseen footage exists, this might just be the beginning of another explosive chapter. So what do you think really happened backstage? Was this betrayal planned, or did emotions spiral out of control in real time? Drop your thoughts below. 'Cause if history has taught us anything, when Jim and Chrissy's names hit the headlines, it's never the end of the story. Stay tuned. The truth is still unfolding, and what happened the next night changed everything.